Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing today? Sorry about that, having to restart the stream there. YouTube has this new streaming platform. It's it's confusing, and nobody likes it. Everybody literally is all negative comments on it. But I figured I'd try to give it a go and get it to work. But I don't like it. We'll see if we can't get it working later. It doesn't affect anything on your guys' side, just on our side. Pretty frustrating though. So the markets seem to have slipped a little bit overnight, but then, like we were saying yesterday, any sell side action probably would be met with some buying, which is basically what happened. So we are back up around what we're at 30.82 now, so we're down just $9.75 on the S&Ps. The Nasdaqs are down similar percentage at 82.4625. In the futures, you can see there, ticker symbol /ZN, the bonds, definitely got some big gains pushed up here overnight and early this morning. Gold has started to make a small little rise back up also. Oil is down once again after having a little bit of a rebound yesterday. Nothing to write home about or anything like that. So mostly what it seems like to me too, and so Powell speaks today. So I feel, stock futures are sliding following the weakness in Asia overnight. It's all ahead of Fed Chairman Powell's testimony to Congress today about the economy and monetary policy, and then to the Joint Economic Committee tomorrow morning. So not only does he speak today, but he'll also speak tomorrow, you guys. So that's something that we will try to definitely be on stream here, talking about, helping you guys guide you through it as it happens in real time. So that happens today and tomorrow, also tomorrow morning. Some other news that I have here. There's a few other events today, but nothing like too big. The other big thing. So earnings, Cisco reports after the bell today. Couple of conferences. Nothing too huge or exciting. I did see in some news that we follow. So Tesla, Elon Musk has now gone ahead and put out that they are looking to build another gigafactory in Berlin, which is that's huge news. I mean, especially for Tesla bulls, that's big. I know I saw a lot of backlash on Twitter last night of the Tesla Q guys. If you're not familiar with what Tesla Q is, they are the infamous short sellers of Tesla. That are down about, I think it's now at 6.2 billion in a month. They're unlike any other short sellers I've ever seen in my entire life. They are the most angry. I mean, same with Tesla bulls. A lot of them, they're fanboys through and through, and there's nothing wrong with that. But both sides get ridiculous and argue. But yeah, so gigafactory being planned to be built in Berlin. That could be huge for Tesla. It could be huge for EVs in general, especially having them directly built there cheaper for the European consumers. Nike said, ticker symbol NKE, Nike said it would stop selling its clothes and sneakers directly to Amazon.com. They are going to apparently be, in quotes, focusing on direct sales themselves. That'll be interesting to see how that goes for them. Last night we watched the Skyworks earnings. As anticipated, they did fall slightly. It was bought up a little bit, but I listened to the call. There's a lot. It's the same story. A lot. They have a lot of dependency on Apple, and the big thing with Apple is that they're just not selling phones like they used to. And Apple's doing fantastic because they're also branching off into other sectors. They're not as concerned about that. But companies like Skyworks, who directly, that's their bread and butter. So they fell slightly ahead with a not as good of an outlook as they were hoping for. E-Trade their average revenue for October was negative 1% on new accounts, but new assets was plus 16%. And cash and deposits was 66.1 billion. So the good news there is that with all of the hubbub, it's going to take a while to digest the entire whole new zero commission thing. But it was good to see that it was at least somewhat still on track. Sorry, I'm reading some of the messages on Discord at the same time here. Also, the impeachment inquiry begins today in the House. I don't think we're going to get too much events out of that right away, but it will be something to definitely keep on watch in the coming days here for sure. One thing I did want to point out, which I'm excited for, and I'll post this in Discord. Link is in the description for our Discord. Join if you're not on here or playing back this later. Microsectors is announcing that they are finally there's going to be a new ETF for the FANG stocks. It'll be, I believe it's going to be, let me see. I've got the ticker symbol here that they're talking about putting up there. Yeah, so Microsectors is proud to announce the pending listing of, this is ticker symbol FNGS. It will be a one-time leverage ETN linked to the FANG stocks issued by BMO, indexed and listed on New York Stock Exchange. So that will be pretty cool. That'll be a fun one to keep an eye on, especially if we can get some volume and liquidity in that. That'll be a great one for newer traders to play, to kind of get their hands and dabble on with the FANG stocks without having to jump in with huge, share size and commissions and stuff like that. So that's going to be pretty nice. What else did I have on here? CPI comes out this morning. We already had month-to-month, looking pretty good. I'm going through all the earnings. Luckin Coffee, Nothing Smile Direct. Tilray and Kronos, the cannabis stocks reported yesterday. Nothing that really gave me an indication of where we were going to go. Booyah, yeah, it's going to be FNGS it will follow the FANGs. It'll be an ETF for the FANGs, and so it'll be interesting. It will be less volatile, so I think that'll be cool to be able to play that, especially for newer guys and even fish, maybe even bigger position size. So we'll have to see when that comes out. I'm not quite sure. I brought this up yesterday. I will continue to bring it up. It's big news. Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA. Yeah, I'll just read this. The China-based e-commerce retailer is expected to launch its 15 billion Hong Kong IPO in the last week of November. The timing is unclear, though, as Reuters reported that the listing could come as soon as this week. But Hong Kong's ongoing protests could also push it beyond November. So they don't really know. So they kind of got to bump up from that, and now they're going to probably, get a kind of a little slight fade back down. I feel like when this does come out, this is going to be very bullish for BABA. I'll be watching that very closely. That's one of the only Chinese stocks I really follow that closely. I'm looking at all the ratings and upgrades. There weren't very many of those today. So yeah, it looks like guys are just pretty much waiting on the Fed Powell speech. A little bit of stuff should come out of the yeah, there you go. Yeah, thanks, Booyah. Yep, that's it. Should be coming out of the inquiry, the impeachment inquiry. I don't think we're going to get too much movement on it. Another one was Google. They did a project with a healthcare system to collect detailed information, and I think it's like 50 million American patients. Well, it sparked a federal inquiry and criticism from patients and the lawmakers. So that's what I was talking about yesterday, and I got a little bit more information on that. I will talk more about this probably later today as I show some of the stuff I'm looking at on Google. We're going to go over some of the Celt stuff and our 1430 strategy today when the market's kind of cool off a little bit, probably so in about an hour. We'll go over that a little bit with live examples so everybody can kind of help. Have you heard of NAC? Is it mine that was opened several months ago because the cut release the market's profitable. No, Zarkon, I don't follow a lot of that kind of stuff. I'll have to check it out and see what it is, but I'm not really sure what that is. I'll have to look at it though here when we get a chance. I don't know if anybody got the chance to, but you guys really will have to be checking this. It'll be a daily thing. Darth did post on our YouTube page a watch list. We'll be posting those every night or morning. We may do like a recap at night after market, and then before the market, Darth will have posted that. He is in Australia, so it works good for him to be able to post that before he goes to bed usually. So you guys look out for that. He did post one this morning. I watched it. It was very good information, some good trade ideas in there. Definitely a good place to start to get some trade ideas. And then obviously the Discord, link in the description. I know I keep saying it. I'm just trying to get anybody that watches this back later in there and talk about trade ideas and sling them around to each other. But yeah, so that video is posted on there. Definitely suggest checking those out and looking for them daily. So hit the subscribe button and the bell to make sure you get notified when he does post those. Those will be coming every day. I'm just looking at a couple more trade ideas here. Just going to be kind of following up where we were at yesterday. I know a couple of you guys took those SPY puts, SPX puts with me yesterday. I scaled out a few of them, but I have a few left that I will probably most likely be getting out somewhat early after the bell here because I don't see this sell side being strong enough to keep pulling down. So I want to take that profit while I can. If you're in there, you should probably do the same thing. What is everybody else watching? If you have any trade ideas or what you're watching, go ahead, post it in there in the chat or in the Discord. Watching Tesla, watching Cat, watching Twitter, AMD, both Twitter and AMD, they're looking at puts. And all right, I'm going to stretch out for 2 seconds, guys, and grab another cup of coffee. We got the bell here in about 2 minutes, not even. Let's get ready to go. I will call out some stuff as we go in time. And everybody, just remember, it's going to be another choppy day. I guarantee it. Keep your cash. Sit on your hands if you have to. Whatever you got to do. But remember, there's no reason to rush this. There's going to be plenty more trades. And trust me, there's going to be some really good opportunities coming up soon. So you guys, let's just let's stay smart. Play smart. Be back in a minute. There is the bell, guys. Here we go. All right, let's get switched over to our main screen here. See where we open up. You guys watch out for the chop. You see the tick hitting there, negative 850. I imagine we're going to start to climb up here quite quickly. So obviously, as anticipated with the sell-off like that was overnight, we're We're down quite a bit here, actually ticking down, and also our add decline line here down to negative 1,054, so down quite a bit. It'll be interesting to see if they can climb up. Definitely starting off choppy here. Let's check in and see how our other stocks are doing. Let's check in with our FANG stocks. Not too much, just kind of chopping around so far. Apple trying to make a push up here. Facebook just chopping in the middle. Amazon slightly down. Microsoft kind of taking a little tail down. Google just slightly bending down. Same with Netflix. On our momentums here, Roku kind of stuck on the 14 there. Boeing resting just popping above upper Celt on the 4-hour now. MU finding resistance here on the lower Celt. If it can get past that, I would be long to the middle Celt, but there's heavy resistance, and also the 14 crossing over the 30 on MU. Here, let me show you guys that in real time. So let's pull this up real quick. This is a good one just to kind of show you guys what's going on here. So this is the 4-hour chart on Micron, ticker symbol MU. You can see right here the dashed purple line is the 14 MA, and the dashed white line is the 30 MA. Here's lower Celt, here's middle Celt. So right now we're finding heavy resistance here on lower Celt. If it can get above this, I would like to see a run up to here, but right here you're going to find massive resistance with both meeting of the 14, the 30, and the middle Celt. Also, the 14, as you can see, is crossing over the 30, headed down. That is very bearish. So if this does make this nice little run up there, that's about all that's going to give you. So the risk to reward is not good. What I would do is I would wait to see this. If it can hit this and test this, I would get short. If it doesn't break this is going to be heavy resistance. I would get short, as this is massive resistance. We'll hit this likely, probability says, and then it will head back down to the target one, would be this lower Celt again. So we'll have to keep an eye on MU today, see if it can hit this resistance and then pull back down. And this could be over the next day or two. This doesn't have to happen today, but this is definitely one I would watch as a bearish scenario to see if this can try to get up here, run into this resistance, all three more indicators there, and head on back down to lower Celt. So that's a perfect example of, again, you wait for the trade to come to you. You do not force the trade ever. You wait for that trade to come to you, guys. I cannot stress it enough. NVIDIA trying to just bouncing off a middle Celt here. Got the 14 as resistance, but so far so good as far as holding up on the middle Celt. Wouldn't want to quite get bearish there yet. Tesla quite a bit overextended on the 4-hour here over upper Celt, but looking very bullish. Also has good fundamental and macro catalyst today. Let's look at, just like I was saying, BABA here failed to hold on the 14. Now it's most likely going to head down to this middle Celt here. Bidu still above upper Celt, but starting to look weak. AMD, I can see why you guys in Discord were getting bearish on it. It has found resistance on the 4-hour at the upper Celt here. Most likely, if it cannot get over that, it is definitely going to head back down. I would give myself probably a week or two at least on this, but it looks like that would be a short-term bearish play. QCOM finally finding a little bit of bullish activity here, a little sell, but I have a feeling this is going to sell off just like it has been. Disney, not sure what's going on there today. Yesterday was not the day we were hoping for. I was hoping that maybe we would digest this. What I'm really expecting, guys, from Disney is to see the numbers come out after this weekend, after they've actually had a full, few days to get rolling and moving. And then I'd really like to see those numbers come out and then get really bullish on this. But I'm still bullish on Disney. I don't have a position in it as of now. But I definitely think there's a lot going for Disney right now. Definitely in the long run, for absolutely sure. McDonald's finding some good support here with middle Celt. 14 and stuck right around in the middle of the 30, but it's find some buyers are starting to find some footing here on McDonald's today. I would really like to see this push up to upper Celt, and if it does, I'm probably going to sell out of my position at that point. Just been in it for too long. I wanted to be in it for about a day to two. I've been in it for now, this will be day 3. We'll definitely keep you guys informed on this one, just because that is a play from start to finish that you guys would have watched through this streams, and you could go back to every stream and watch it from start to finish. Yeah, we'll get back to these, and I will keep doing that, and I'll keep calling them out, and then we'll go through lesson after lesson. And once it slows down a little bit, I will really walk through some of these in way more detail than I just did. Add decline line coming up now from we hit a low of negative 1102. We're now at negative 887, but that is it is a nice little climb there. As you can see, as that climbed up, we're also climbing up in the S&Ps. Ticks are still ticking down quite a bit, but that's to be anticipated as the way we're moving right now. VIX was slightly elevated from yesterday, but now we are coming down just below, just cracked the 13 line now. And you guys go ahead and post what you're watching in the chat too. I can definitely look at stuff for you. And oh, you guys are. I'm so sorry. Walmart, Cisco, Shop, MU, Tesla. That's a hell of a list. Booyah. AMD and Twitter, Zarkon. Nice. McDonald's is moving, Ryan. I know. I'm like I said, I'm gonna be watching that closely here to see if I need to get out of my position with a nice little win on it. Been in it a little bit longer than I needed to. Nice, Jacob. Nice trade in Discord there on Tesla. Good job. So I like to see if these ticks can turn around. Right now, we're just kind of stuck in this weird position here. McDonald's positions. I got out at about a 40% profit yesterday morning, and then I left the last 3 running. I am now at break even on those. So these are actually a 33% profitable trade now. Wow, my other computer, good thing it's not this one, my other computer is going crazy. We had a massive snowstorm and windstorm this weekend, and everything. I live out, it's beautiful where I live, but and good internet, but these crazy storms with all the ice when they're unseasonable really seem to mess with some stuff, and it's kind of seems to be what happened. McDonald's, like what I'm seeing so far, holding up support on the 30 MA now, up at 194.15. I would really like to see that go up. If we can get up to that 196, I would be a happy trader today. Finding a little consolidation here on the S&Ps. Tick still ticking slightly sideways or down. Add decline line still coming up. VIX still falling slightly. McDonald's positions are up 50% from yesterday, so that's good. That's a good little rebound on that. Got some news coming in from Powell. Let me go ahead and find it and read it here real quick. Really short. All it says is Powell, Fed sees sustained economic expansion. Well, that's not good. That's not what I was hoping he was going to say. Fed Powell says interest rates unlikely to change as long as growth continues. Great. So they're going to want to crash the market so they can get those rate changes. That's fantastic. That is not what I wanted to see, guys. Come on, McDonald's. You can do it. You can do it. Does anybody know what the actual Powell, is there like a timeline at all, or is it just going to be like this where it's randomly coming out? I'm kind of confused now. I can't find anything better on it. I'm gonna close half my position on McDonald's. Why I've got a nice little profit going here. Those filled quick. That's what is up. Well, I'm definitely holding on to this last one. See if I can get a little runner on her. It's tying up a bit of capital too, so. Oh my god, I'm gonna blow up my other computer. It literally just keeps like restarting, and it's brand new. It's nicer than this one. Oh, there's something going on. I don't think it's anything to do with the internet. I think it's the actual computer. Do I need to go buy a new computer today? Man. I think I'm gonna go buy a new desktop for this, just for streaming though. Oh crap. I think the second computer's done. Ha. Yeah, I've got my like full trading setup, and I've got my 6 monitors. Like I really like it. I've put it together over the last like 3 years. Got the curved screens on the 2 mains, but I think I'm gonna get a second streaming computer, and I've looked into this, and they've been making specific hardware for it. So I think that's something I may get for this, just so we have less problems and better stream quality. What the heck? Dude. Oh, I've got a power failure. Hold on, guys. I got to go figure this out. There's something going on with the power. Aha. Yeah, exactly. I've done. I've got a pretty nice computer. I've got several, obviously, but I need to get a dedicated streaming computer, and I want something pretty badass that's going to be good and be really good for you guys. And just so, I want power, just power overload. Can't talk. Well, I'm glad I caught that, and I'm glad everything important is plugged in on the other side. That was weird. Whew. Finding a lot of chop here right now. Tick at negative 176. ES negative 855 on the decline line. Tick is just not going where we want. So you guys can see here on my screen. I love this tick chart. I have this customized one. So the NYSE tick is at a negative 821. The NASDAQ is at negative 1400. S&P is negative 72. The Russell is negative 1443. So that's pretty. They're all pretty consistent here, in line with each other. So. Yeah, there you go. You can see it a little bit better. I'll try to keep that blown up as we go. VIX starting to get slightly elevated as we find this slight little sell-off here, little consolidation area. Decline line kind of flattening out here. This is kind of what we were expecting today, just kind of going to float around today. I don't even know if we're going to find direction later. We may get a couple spikes up and down. This is going to be a tricky day. I mean, this isn't a day where I would say definitely no trend. And it's going to probably be a range day. I would definitely not be trying to make little scalps in here, just forcing things. That's not going to be, you're going to get killed with theta. I mean, it's just going to, anything that you grab, I mean, if you look at it, you could have grabbed some calls here, and then immediately this would have just wiped off your theta. Then how would you know to go short here? You know, it just doesn't work. Today, I would say I'm not taking any trades. I've gotten out of a couple things, But I'm definitely going to sit on my hands here. And like I said, if it stays like this here shortly, we'll try to go over some stuff in depth here, especially some strategy stuff, and maybe even look at some of those butterflies from yesterday. Nice. Some of the guys in Discord are making some nice little profits on Tesla. That's awesome to see. Good job, you guys. Good job. Good trades. I like to see that. Willie taking a small little AMD 10% profit. Hey man, that's awesome. That's you set that up from start to finish. That was a fully thought out trade. That is base hits all day. I'll take 10% all day. You know how many people would kill for 10%? That's a heck of a trade, man. You guys do not feel you don't need to, again, don't need to be taking home runs constantly. In fact, don't even go for that. Don't at all. You'll get them. Just go for going base hits. You'll get a home run out of one of those. It'll happen. Like what I had on BA the other day on Boeing. I was playing that as a base hit. I was looking to get out with maybe a 30%er. I ended up getting I think it was like a 600% on that. It's on stream the other day. Because of the base hits, you will get a home run out of those. But do not swing for those. Base hits all day, man. Good job, you guys. Ticks are starting to have a nice little uptick change there. That's good. VIX is still elevating right now, as is the decline line. So this will be interesting to see where this is headed. Kind of got a little divergence here. I'm sure VIX is just people hedging in the S&P or SPX. Sorry. But yeah, you can see we finally have a positive tick from NES turn green. So here we go. This would this we might find some direction here. I mean, we're definitely going to keep chopping around, but we'll see if we can't find some direction here. And I'll tell you right now, we get up into that 3100 range again, and I am shorting it again. Every time, 3 times we've gotten close to there, I've been able to nail those high a day puts, and if I do, I will walk you guys through it as best I can, and hopefully kind of take a couple of you with me. So, looks like I got out decent on that McDonald's play. It is not just did the same thing it's been doing, popping and dropping. Well, those positive ticks were kind of short-lived, wasn't it? Man, VIX is really starting to get elevated here. We're already at almost 4% now. Ripped right up from 1298 to 1317 in just about 7 minutes. Market's really stalemating today. I mean, it's not just the S&P. I'm watching the Dow and the Nasdaq. Skyworks just getting smoked still, down 3%. BDU down 2%, Lowe's down 1%, 1.8%, almost 2%. Nvidia down, Beyond down, Baba down, Cat down, Goldman Sachs down. The banks are all down, so that's XLF down as well. The financials are down, so that's probably dragging a lot of weight on this market right now. That's definitely where that's coming from. As far as percentage changes, I have on my watch list up the VIX and then Tesla at 1.22%, up $4. TLT is up, AMD is up slightly, Roku up slightly, and the XLU. And I have found that when the XLU is up, it is people getting into safety positions. Big tick down there, and there goes the VIX just ripping up. Wow. There's a big jump on the VIX. A little bit of news coming out again from Powell. Fed Chair Powell says the current stance of monetary policy is appropriate as long as the economy stays on track. It is the same thing over and over and over. Guys, with a little bit of the chop we're seeing here, I am looking at placing what we call an Aries trading. It's my signature. I call it the golden condor. It is a slightly bias butterfly type of trade. I'll be looking at possibly filling one of those for around like 20 cents. If I do that here shortly, I will go into detail and do a step-by-step setup to show you guys how I place it, why I place it, and where I would do it. That's just something that I'm looking at, so I may do that here in just a few minutes. I'm just watching a couple of these trades and watching the market. It's a low probability, but very low risk, and it's actually been working out. I think I'm at, let me look real quick, 81% in the last 27 sessions. So that's pretty good. But I will let you guys know if I'm going to be looking at doing that, which I may do here shortly. So I'll walk you guys through on screen how to do that, and that will be able to archive that. So you guys see here, let me pull this up. So here on this NVIDIA trade, this is what I was waiting for. See this? We're finding some support here on this middle Celt. What I'd be waiting to see is to see if we can find support here and stay and close. I would be willing to want to take that risk reward to go long here with my first target being this 211.93ish area. We do have the 14 here as slight resistance, but I'm starting to like that risk reward here from middle Celt to upper Celt on the 4-hour on NVIDIA, ticker symbol NVDA. Just wanted to show you guys that in real time as I'm looking at it. If I do take that trade, I will show you and set it up here on screen. Tesla coming down slightly. I know if you guys took those puts, good trades, good job on those. Roku still finding heavy resistance here on the 30 and middle Celt. Has support though on the 14 right below it. Activision just slowly dying off. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to go either way with that. I mean, the trade would have been amazing after earnings, but I saw the bounce, and it kind of screwed me up. I did not think this was going to break through, and then man, did it just fall apart after earnings. Boeing getting some resistance on that 365 line again, and I know I keep bringing this up, but you guys can see here now this is the 5th day in a row that it has been in play on that line. That line is a huge price level for this stock, especially ever since the big sell-off after the accident. Same thing with MU is catching resistance on this lower Celt here. Be watching to see if we can get above that and make a run, but like I said, I'm not going to get long. I want this to go up, find huge resistance here, and then I would get short on it. That's my trade plan there. So NVIDIA, I'll get back to that if I see anything coming on. As you guys can see on the screen, all the green tick is back in the positive now, looking good, looking strong for now. Nothing too crazy to put any money on, but just good to see. Qualcomm finding support on the upper resistance or upper Celt here. Same as Baidu finding support upper Celt. McDonald's just kind of falling apart, just kind of whimpering out. I like AMD coming back to life, slightly popping over the upper Celt now once again on the 4-hour. I'm going to start setting up for this possible SPX Condor or iron. Well, it's an iron. It's like a butterfly but bias, but we actually call it the golden vulture. So that it's a thing because Ares, the god of war, his symbols are the dog, the spear, the shield, and the vulture. And so we have names for all these things, and we'll be coming out with those, especially with our education program. But I call it the golden vulture is actually what it is. So, but what I'm looking at here though is the today, the 13th, and what I would be doing is looking at this 370, 365. 360. I would be building it somewhere in here on this put side, and you can see how cheap this is, for better or for worse. Obviously, it could just fizzle out and expire worthless, but if not, it'd be a nice little 50 to 100% gainer. But I will be looking at this here shortly in the next few minutes, and if I take that, I will definitely bring you guys along with me. So just wanted to bring that up one more time. Checking in on our futures. Bond still slightly elevated. Gold still holding up its gains. Oil has come back to life here, finally in the green now. The NASDAQ is still down about 0.27% at 8252.50. And volatility still holding its head up quite well here above water. So VIX dropping down to around the 13. Tick still either headed down or sideways. As you can see on the ES here, just absolutely, just chop. Add decline line still just slowly grinding itself up. McDonald's coming back to life here. Let me check my my prices here. Come on, Mickey D's. I just want Mickey D's to go for that 196. Make me a happy boy. I'll leave it alone. I'm watching the tape right now, level 2 here on McDonald's. It's really moving today. There we go. Come on, McDonald's. You can see it just bounced right off of this middle Celt, got over the 30, and now this is what I'm looking for, you guys, right here. This is that target I'm talking about, this 196. I know that's quite a big jump for McDonald's, but I mean, you can see it can range these. It can do it. McDonald's has really turned itself around in the last couple of years as more of almost a momentum stock from a safety stock. So yeah, looking good right now. As of right now, looking pretty good. Keep my eye tight on that one. AMD dropping down below, still finding resistance on that upper Celt. That is going to be a situation all day. But if it can close above that, especially on the 4-hour candle, that is going to be very, very bullish again. Boeing still stuck here on this 365 line. Roku's finding that pretty heavy resistance with the meeting with the 30 and the middle Celt there. And as you can see after on Roku, when this 14 crossed the 30, this was due from the slam down from earnings, but that doesn't, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it has got a bearish cross on the 14 and 30 here. But you can see it just been grinding nice and steady up since earnings, but still very hard for me to get bullish on that one for sure right now. NVIDIA cracking that middle Celt. That's what I was talking about. That's why you don't just jump into those plays. This is exactly a perfect example of why you wouldn't do that, guys. See, it broke that. So now what we'll watch is see if it can regain that. And if it can close there, then we would be looking to get long to this upper Celt. And again, I wouldn't give myself just a couple days. I would go out at least. Normally I tell, it's usually about 30 days is what I say. But something like this, I would probably go out at least a couple weeks. Yeah, definitely at least a week minimum. And if you have to, that's something that, Darth posted a video on this on our YouTube, you guys. It's something that's really good. We'll go over more strategy and detail on the next video and webinars about this. But say you need to go out a little bit farther and you say, well, it's too expensive or blah, blah, blah with a small account. Well, what I would suggest is that instead of just buying a couple day expiration or a week expiration, that's when you go and take like a vertical and do like a debit spread, and give yourself some time. Grab a vertical and go out 30 days, go out 60 days, and for those big moves, that's the way to do it. Is you grab a vertical, that sell position will cover your buy position, and you now have taken let's say a $3 position, now it's down to $1. That's how you make those affordable. And maybe that's something we'll look into here in the next hour when I go over some of the stuff. Maybe I can do a more strategize of that side of the strategy, not just the crosses and the lines. I know those kind of it makes sense, but to see how you actually what to buy, the right strike, the right expiration, that is critical to being successful in the options game. There's no doubt about it. McDonald's really coming to life here, looking good, looking good. Let's check in on our things here. So Apple making a nice grind up from this morning's choppiness. Facebook still chopping around, Netflix chopping around, Google, I thought was actually going to sell off a bit today with the news, but it did not. Microsoft starting to nice and pop here, but been really hesitant to get into Microsoft lately. Every time I get to go long, it gives it right back. Everything it gains, it gives me right back. But Apple and Microsoft looking really good as far as the FANGs go. VIX finally just dropped below 13 once again for the second time today at 12.99. Add decline line still on this nice grind up here. Again, you guys, we started off at minus 1102. We are now all the way up to minus 583, but that's a nice little slow grind up. And you can see the market, we're chopping around, but we're starting to kind of get a little bit of direction here. And you can see we're starting to tick up on most of the indices. We're still down on these two. I don't really, the Russell's not too much of a concern to me right now as far as direction for this, but it's always kind of lagging. But this is, we're kind of finding a little bit of direction here. I'm not going to just hop in calls. And if anything, I'll be watching to see if we get a reverse. And that's why I was talking about that SPX butterfly is where I would like to grab those for as cheap as I can. Even if I can get those for, 15 cents, I could flip that around for a nice 100% gain pretty easily with just a couple of dollar move back down later today. Oh, I didn't know about this. Just Yahoo Finance I'm watching over here on the other big screen. Google is partnering with Citi to offer banking accounts. Man, it's kind of like the Apple credit card. I don't know if I want these big tech guys being my bank. I don't know what. There's just something about that just does not sit well with me at all, man. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you set up a bank account with Google? It just sounds weird, doesn't it? Nice. Tesla, I was 160%. That is awesome. I'm just going back through these. Sorry, guys. I was kind of got going off there. Hey, thanks, you guys. Booyah. Thank you very much for explaining that about add and tick. I'm sorry I wasn't I looked away for a while there. But thank you for explaining that. No, I would not trust Robinhood Cash Management. However, when they first came out with that, when it was like, oh, 3%. I'm not going to lie. I signed up. So my name is in there. I was pretty excited about 3%. I knew it was too good to be true. And then they just started dropping and dropping. And I knew with the Fed rate cuts, there was no way Robinhood was going to be able to keep that up there. But yeah, I was hopeful. I'm not going to lie. I mean, could you imagine? That would have been huge. Google our commies. Yeah, there's something, all right. Yeah, maybe we'll explain a little bit more about Ad and Tick as well. And yes, SMB has some great content. Just not even just this, it's everything. I love SMB. That's a great channel. But yeah, they have a good channel, good videos on Ad and Tick. Really, the biggest thing for what you'd mostly be concerned with at this point is watching. I don't necessarily care when it's in a trend. I like to look for the divergences. So say the S&Ps and SPY are headed up and they're just getting higher highs and higher highs on the day, intraday, but you're watching the add decline line and tick is ticking down, especially add decline line is going way down, so it's making lower lows and lower lows, but the S&P keeps making higher highs. That is a huge divergence, a bearish divergence, and we have found many fantastically huge trades out of that. Because as that decline line is going down, it's telling me, hey, watch out, things aren't as good as they look. So the S&P might be going up because, say, like finances, like the banks, XLF, all those are ticking up and they're moving up higher and higher because they're weighted heavier. But everything else around the market is falling and declining, hence add decline. So as soon as those banks top out or pewter out or turn around, that S&P is going to come crashing down. And so what we'll do is we can get in at high a day and get in with puts, and then we get those massive gains. That's how a lot of these huge 300, 500, 600%, up to the 1,000, 2,000%, those are how those happen. It's from finding those divergences and then catching them at high a day. It's not getting lucky. It's not just jumping around. It is literally watching these indicators and keeping it simple. We don't watch a lot. I know it seems like a lot at first and overwhelming, but it really is not a lot. I see guys literally with 1,000 lines and little symbols drawn all over their charts. We keep it pretty simple, really. Yeah, Jacob, I know exactly. Yeah, no way. Oh, I think the impeachment stuff has started. I wonder if I don't know, I just don't find it that interesting enough to want to put it up here. Yeah, they're just gonna open. It's gonna take a while for anything to come out anyway. As McDonald's calls are back up at 50% again. It's making me really want to get out here. God. Just every time we get up here to this range, it seems like it just sells right back off. And I'm down to my last few, so it's not tying up that much capital, but just seeing all this green, oh man. See, this is where my Romo kicks in. This is my problem, you guys. I've got regret of missing out. I don't care what anybody says, even after a long time, and no matter how much money I have in my account, I don't care. Even if it's $10, I want it. Greed is the downfall of a good trader. VIX continuing to fall here as the add decline line is finally making a slight of what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, only 10 red 1 minute candles today so far. That's amazing. This has just been a straight climb up on the add decline line. So really nothing to tell me to get bearish here, you guys. So I'm not, the SPX butterfly. This is why you don't just jump in and grab it again. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Nothing has shown me to get bearish yet. Yeah, my gut feeling says to go short, but what is my gut really? Oh, McDonald's, you're driving me crazy. I think if I was in more trades, I wouldn't even be caring about McDonald's, to be honest. See, there's that Microsoft giving it back every time. Apple doing the same, coming back down here. Facebook still just chopping around. Netflix doing the same. Google slightly up now. And Amazon is still slightly down. So not much change there on the FANGs. Just kind of hovering around. But if those turn around at all to the downside with the banks and XLF and those down, that's when we could see a big sell-off. But sellers have just not been able to hold on to these gains the last couple weeks. So Boeing's still stuck in that same exact area. Micron starting to try to push its way through that lower resistance on the lower Celt. NVIDIA sitting on middle Celt once again. Tesla is finding some bullish thesis here, but it's pretty extended for me to want to get in there. The risk reward's just not there right now for me, so. Yeah, so really McDonald's is even if I wasn't, it's the only one that's even remotely has me eyeing it anymore. So other than the overall market itself. Well, if it continues to go this way, guys, this will be a good day to do some of the education stuff and Q&A stuff on here. So we'll have to look at that here shortly. Breaking news, Tesla chooses Germany over UK for battery factory. I think I already talked about that before. I don't know why they keep recycling the same things, but I think that's a good choice. I think it's a fantastic choice of Tesla to go with Germany over the UK for the battery factory. No offense to any English homies out there, but much better price, much better facility, and especially when they're with that whole new, building the gigafactory there in Berlin. It's just gonna. I think it's gonna be a fantastic spot. UK is, I mean, so many problems going on with Brexit, let alone anyway, and where it's at on the island. I think Germany being there is just so smart for them, just being centralized. I think it's a fantastic location. HSY set up decently yesterday. Yeah, DT, right. Yeah, I believe you're the one who pointed that out, right? Yeah, good eye, good job. Thank you. Oh, gotcha, DT. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I followed your snap. I saw that. Yeah, AMD looking bull flag possible. Yep, I agree. It's looking pretty bullish. Definitely getting above that upper celt today. So, yeah, I agree there. Hundo Pocento. Oh, I found the impeachment's finally here. Let me watch this for a second, guys. See if it's worth anything to even watch for you guys or not. Ad decline line really coming up nice here, still strong. Ticks finding about medium ground so far and just slowly grinding back up. But what are we down now? 450 is all from close yesterday. So here, let me back out a little bit of the tick lines here. I declined, sorry, can't talk today. That's close. There you go. Give me just a second. I'm going to watch this, see if it's worth anything else here. Let's listen. Mr. Nunez, ranking member. I got a ranking member for you, Mr. Nunez. God, what a weird job. Sorry, DT. Oh man, I thought the speech yesterday was boring. This is boring. It's just going to be this back and forth. I know it's already going to be. It's such a waste of taxpayer monies. There's so many better things we could be doing other than this stupid impeachment inquiry. It's not going to happen. There's just, this is so dumb. I don't even care how you feel anyway about it. I'm looking at this from a purely, what would I say, a financial outlook. It's just so dumb. Oh, is AMD at a 52-week high? Crazy. Yeah, sure, I know. That's what I know. We were talking about it here. I didn't take it either, though. Yeah, look at that. Got above that. Would have had to taken it off the 14, but that was a risky trade with the resistance there that it kept running into. But, yep. There's your 52-week high at 37.39. Crazy. But yeah, it would have been a risk off of that 14. But honestly, the risk to reward, you would have had to go in with huge size, and that's a lot of risk for not a lot of reward. Guess we'll see where she ends up, but yeah. Let's take a look around while I'm waiting on this. This is just super boring what I'm watching. NVIDIA still just sitting there. And you just everything just kind of sitting here, like literally, it almost looks like I froze the screen. I'm not even kidding. This is insane today. Not even chopped, just froze. Google coming back to life. Netflix coming back to life. Apple just kind of chopping but slowly grinding up there. Amazon totally going sideways, the same as Facebook. So interesting on the fangs here. Yeah, I didn't like the AMD one either. Just I mean, I was obviously can go rewatch what I said, but I mean, I was watching it and I said that there was a probability to go over, but sitting there on that underneath that upper celt was just a bad idea. Yeah, booyah. Yeah, we'll probably do that here shortly. We'll go over a couple of strategy examples and maybe look at some stuff coming up for later this week and into next week, and maybe some longer term. Maybe we'll look at some longer term type of strategy stuff that might be a good idea, especially with something that I'll be explaining here. Maybe this is what I'll go into talk about is about hedging at these levels. And I was talking a little bit about it in Discord yesterday when Jacob was talking last night about the record VIX calls, and I was talking about all the hedging going on. Maybe that's something I'll talk about with you guys. Even with the smaller portfolio and smaller account, hedging is a way to stay afloat. It's a way to keep your neck out of the above the water. So maybe that's something we could look at, and using verticals and using debit spreads. We kind of tie in everything we've been putting out over the last week, kind of tie that all together with a nice little pretty bow, and make it actually a real world applicable situation here. I think that's what we're going to do. So give me a couple minutes. I'm going to grab something to drink, and then I think that's what we're going to do. So if you guys got a couple things you want to look at, let me know. Yeah, grab some breakfast. I'm going to do the same real quick. Let's say it's 8:30, so give me, I don't know, let's say it's 8:30 where I'm at. Sorry. It's 10:30 Eastern. Let's say within 15 to 20 minutes, we'll grab some trade ideas, guys, and we'll go over some stuff, and I'm going to talk about some long-term strategy and long-term hedging at these levels. There's the quote, there's the bow. I will mark this when we come back. I'll still be available on chat for a few guys, but I'm just saying I'm going to take care of me real quick, and then I want to do some strategy with you guys. Right on. Be right back.